In life, there are moments when everything seems impossible, when we find ourselves burdened with pain, facing seemingly insurmountable obstacles, or feeling overwhelmed by the weight of our troubles. It's easy to lose hope. Welcome to Timeless Prayer. But in these moments of despair, there is always a light to guide us, a source of divine help that can bring miracles into our lives. One such source of grace and intervention is St Anthony of Padua, a saint renowned for his ability to work wonders, especially when the situation seems hopeless. For centuries, people across the world have turned to St Anthony in their time of need, and countless testimonies reveal the incredible miracles that have followed his intercession. His power, though mysterious, is undeniable, and many have witnessed the seemingly impossible become possible through his prayers. Today, I invite you to embrace the profound power of St. Anthony's intercession through a simple yet deeply meaningful prayer. This prayer, when said with faith and devotion, has the potential to unlock divine miracles in your life. It is not just a casual recitation of words, but a heartfelt plea that connects you directly with the heavenly realm. In just 3 minutes, you can place your trust fully in St. Anthony's hands, asking him to intercede for you and bring about the changes you seek. Whether you are facing financial struggles, health issues, broken relationships, or deep emotional pain, this prayer is for you. It is a prayer for those who need a breakthrough, for those who believe in the power of prayer, and for those who are desperate for a change in their lives. St. Anthony's miraculous powers are not confined to the past. They are alive today, ready to be called upon by those who have faith in his ability to work wonders. When you take just 3 minutes of your day to speak from the heart, to reach out with unwavering trust, you invite St. Anthony's intercession into your life, and with it, the possibility of miracles. So, if you are ready to open your heart and trust in the divine power of St. Anthony, join me in this prayer. Let us come together in faith, for in those 3 minutes, anything is possible. Your miracle is waiting, and St. Anthony is ready to hear your plea. Together, let's take that step toward divine intervention, and let faith lead the way to the impossible becoming possible. O St. Anthony of Padua, protector of the afflicted, light that guides through the darkest valleys, safe harbor for all who have lost their way. Today, I come to you with a heart shattered and a soul exhausted, carrying burdens that feel heavier with each passing day. Have you ever felt so overwhelmed by life that you no longer see the way forward in my trembling hands? I hold the weight of anguish that I cannot carry alone, the struggles that seem insurmountable, the days without peace, the nights without rest. And yet, here I am, on my knees before you. Glorious Saint, tears in my eyes but hope in my spirit, because I believe this moment is no coincidence. I believe that you, who know every silent sigh, every cry hidden from the world, every instant I felt I could take no more, were already waiting to receive me. St. Anthony, my soul is weary, my strength is gone, and I have tried everything I could think of. Doors have closed in my face. Paths have led only to dead ends, and still the weight within me grows, like an unending night, like a winter that refuses to yield. Yet I do not come to you merely to lament. I come to beg for your holy intervention. I come to place in your sacred hands the burdens I can no longer bear, knowing that you are the saint of miracles that no one else can accomplish. Many before me have experienced the extraordinary through your intercession, and now I ask you, do not leave me in this moment of deep suffering. Will you, St. Anthony, intercede for me? Before God, will you carry to his heart this urgent request? Impossible in human eyes, but possible for the one who created all things, I ask you to remove from my life every illness that drains me, every sadness that dims my light, every worry that steals my breath. I feel bound by invisible chains, shackled by fears I cannot see but feel tightening each day. St. Anthony, break these chains, release me from these bonds, and bring me into the freedom of your protection. Touch every part of my being that is in need. Heal my body with the oil of divine restoration. Mend my mind with wisdom from above. Fill my empty spirit with God's sacred presence, and leave no trace of illness, pain, or torment that is not transformed into a testimony of victory. May my body be renewed completely, my mind restored with clarity, and my soul healed to its deepest depths. O glorious St. Anthony! Thousands have witnessed your miraculous intercession. Countless testimonies bear witness to the wonders God has performed through your prayers. And now I ask for my moment of grace. Will something shift in the unseen realm that will soon manifest in my reality? I also ask you, my protector, to remove every opposing force from my life. There are destructive energies at work, people who wish me harm, jealous eyes that seek to destroy my blessings, words of condemnation, works of darkness meant to shatter me. St. Anthony, I know that with your protection and God's support, no negative force can prosper. Undo every spiritual binding, destroy every curse, every dark intention, every evil work aimed at me. Break the chains that hold me back, loosen the knots that keep me from rising, and let every weight that tries to bring me down fall away. Let no force of darkness have power over me, my family, my home, my dreams, or my plans. Surround me with an armor of divine light. St. Anthony, let no arrow of the enemy strike me. Let no harmful word wound me. Let no destructive thought take root in my mind. Let no poisonous emotion dominate my heart. Make me an unbreakable fortress against evil, yet fully open to the goodness that flows from God. And St. Anthony, there is a financial struggle that suffocates me. Debts pile like mountains. Bills arrive with no means to pay. Work seems scarce. Opportunities slip through my fingers, and the future feels like a dense fog. How can I honor my responsibilities? How can I provide for my family? How can I climb out of this abyss that grows deeper each day? You, who lived a life of simplicity and detachment, understand the hearts of those who suffer from lack. That is why I put my trust in you and ask for not riches, but for dignity, for the means to live honestly and honorably. Open for me the doors of honest work. Bring opportunities where barriers once stood. Place helpful people on my path, and inspire me with creative ideas that provide sustenance. Guide me to the right places, at the right times, with the right people, so that I may find the work I need, the business that will flourish, the financial blessing that lifts me from this struggle. Grant me wisdom to manage what is given, to use every blessing wisely, to value even small victories, and to be generous with those in need. O St. Anthony, there is also a deep loneliness in my heart, a yearning for love and companionship that seems absent, bonds broken, affection lost. Do you feel this void, the emptiness even when surrounded by people? Bring into my life relationships that are blessings, and keep away those who deceive, harm, or drain me. Protect me from false friends, toxic love, and destructive connections. May I attract people of faith, people who lift rather than drag me down. If a love was lost and must be recovered, bring it back, heal what was broken, restore what was hurt, or, if not God's will, grant me the grace to accept it and open my heart to new possibilities. Present, at the right time, the person prepared by God to walk alongside me. St. Anthony, my heart bears the weight of past traumas. grudges, and mistakes I cannot forgive. There are burdens that haunt me day and night, yet I cannot release them alone. Teach me the art of forgiveness. Help me forgive those who have hurt me, and give me the strength to forgive myself for my missteps. May I release these chains of the past and step lightly into the future, freed and renewed. Deliver me from addictions, destructive habits, obsessive thoughts, and all that enslaves me, St. Anthony. Ignite within me a divine determination, fill me with supernatural willpower, and let me no longer be a slave to anything or anyone but the love of God. May I experience true freedom, a freedom that no circumstance or challenge can take away. O St. Anthony of Padua, protector of the afflicted, I come before you with all my heart, all my soul, and all my trust, asking for your intercession in every aspect of my life. Heal my body, my mind, my spirit. Remove every evil force that seeks to harm me. Provide for my financial needs. Bring love, companionship, and true friendship. Grant forgiveness and liberation from past burdens. Deliver me from all chains that bind me, and fill me with the peace, joy, and freedom that only God can give through your powerful prayers. May every prayer I offer in faith, every cry from my heart, every tear of hope reach the heavens and be answered according to God's perfect will. St. Anthony, I put my trust in you. I stand under your protection, and I wait for a miracle to unfold in my life. May the extraordinary grace and love of God, channeled through your intercession, transform my life completely, renewing my strength, restoring my joy, and opening my path to peace, prosperity, and divine favor. Amen. Beloved St. Anthony of Padua, my heart comes before you heavy, yet full of hope, for I know that even in the midst of despair, your intercession reaches where human hands cannot. I place my trust in you, St. Anthony, knowing that the one who formed the universe with a single word can move mountains in my life, can turn my darkness into light, can bring what seems impossible into reality. I come to you not ashamed of my weakness, not hiding the cracks of my spirit, but bringing before you the raw, unvarnished truth of my heart, all my fears, all my burdens, all the sorrows that weigh upon me. I am exhausted from pretending to be strong, from smiling while tears burn behind my eyes, from carrying the weight of the world while my soul feels fractured. Today, I lay all of it at your feet. Today, I remove the mask and let you see the depth of my wounds, the long nights of worry, the moments of hopelessness that cling to me like shadows. And in this honest surrender, I feel your presence, St. Anthony, a gentle yet powerful light that begins to illuminate my darkness. I feel the weight lifting from my shoulders, the hidden hope stirring within me, the whisper of miracles beginning to move unseen in my life. The very act of praying, of believing, of waiting with faith is already a sign that God has not abandoned me. I am not alone. I am never alone. With you beside me, I feel the assurance of divine care, of a love that sees the smallest pains, hears the softest cries, and carries every plea to the throne of heaven. St. Anthony, my heart is a deep well of tangled emotions and accumulated suffering. There are layers of disappointment, wounds that time has not healed, burdens that have pressed me into the ground. Yet I trust that your intercession has the power to purify these waters, to bring clarity, to reveal what must be healed and restored. There are times when I look around and feel forgotten, when I see others walking seemingly untroubled paths, and I am tempted to believe that I am abandoned, left alone with my trials. But then I remember your journey, St. Anthony, your own suffering, your faithful walk through challenges, and I am reminded that holiness is forged not in ease, but in faithfulness through trials. I understand that my struggles are not marks of divine absence, but opportunities for faith to be refined, like gold in fire. Teach me patience, St. Anthony, for I often crave immediate answers. I long for instant miracles. I struggle to wait. Help me surrender to God's perfect timing, to trust that every delay carries a purpose, that every challenge is a step toward the miracle yet unseen. I ask you, beloved intercessor, to stand with me in the battles beyond the visible. I know there are forces seeking to block my path, spirits of darkness that seek to steal my hope, to shatter my faith, to cloud my future. But I place my trust in you, St. Anthony, knowing that the one who fights for me is greater than any opposition. Intercede, I pray, as a sword of light cutting through every scheme of evil, as a shield protecting my soul from every invisible assault, as a heavenly army driving away all forces that threaten me. Bind every spirit of illness, expel every shadow of despair, remove every block to prosperity, heal every broken relationship, annihilate loneliness, and restore peace where discord has taken root. Let everything not of God be cast out from my life, that I may dwell fully in the presence of divine protection. Extend your holy protection to my family, St. Anthony, for I do not suffer alone. The pain of those I love adds weight to my own heart. Watch over children who have strayed, those lost in dangerous paths, touched by harmful influences, those who wander and cannot find their way home. Touch them. Awaken them to return to safety, to love, to life. Restore marriages on the edge of collapse. Pour oil of forgiveness where there is hurt. Reignite love where coldness has taken hold. Bridge every gap with your divine intervention. Protect my home, St. Anthony, from illness, poverty, division, and evil. May it be a sanctuary of love, a refuge of peace, a place where God's presence is tangibly felt. St. Anthony, I lift to you every soul in my family who suffers, the sick bodies, the ailing minds, the weary hearts weighed down by anxiety, depression, and sorrow. Touch them with your healing hand. Let your prayers bring restoration, emotional healing, and physical renewal. For situations that seem impossible, legal disputes, family conflicts, injustices that linger, stalled processes, unresponsive authorities, I know your intercession can move the immovable, open the closed, close the destructive, and make the hearts of decision-makers align with God's justice. Inspire the right actions. Let doors open where they were locked. Blessings flow where obstacles have blocked the way. I do not come asking only for tangible miracles, St. Anthony, but for what is most precious that has been lost. My inner peace, my confidence, my joy, my hope. Help me recover what suffering has stolen, to dream again, to believe again, to hope with a heart unburdened. Reveal to me the purpose for which I was created. Illuminate the path I am to follow. Awaken the gifts you planted in my soul, and let me use them fully in service of God's kingdom. Let no talent lie buried, no calling unfulfilled, no dream left unrealized. May I flourish as the person God intended me to be, strong in faith, resilient in spirit, and steadfast in hope. When doubt whispers and fear tempts me to despair, hold my hand, St. Anthony. Remind me of the miracles I have witnessed, the times doors opened when I could not see a way, the solutions that arrived when all seemed lost. Let me remember that God, who began a good work in me, will complete it. Teach me to praise God even in pain, to worship in the storm, to lift my voice when tears flow, to declare divine glory in the midst of trial. May my life be a living testimony, a beacon of hope, a demonstration that even in weakness, God's power sustains, protects, and transforms. may those who witness my journey see not my strength, but God's strength working through me, not my wisdom, but divine wisdom guiding me, not my justice, but God's justice defending me. May my life proclaim in word and action the wonders of the Lord, and may St. Anthony, my beloved intercessor, continue to guide, protect, and illuminate my way until I stand fully restored, fully blessed, and fully aligned with God's miraculous plan for me. O St. Anthony of Padua, protector of all who suffer, beacon of light in times of despair, and sanctuary for the lost and weary, I come before you today in profound need. My heart is broken, my spirit worn thin, and I find myself standing at the edge, holding burdens too heavy for my weary hands. I am exhausted from the battles that seem endless, from the pain that refuses to subside, and from the uncertainty that clouds my every step. Yet, in this moment of vulnerability, I turn to you, Saint of Miracles, for I know that there is no coincidence in this encounter, no accident that I find myself here. Calling upon you, you who have walked alongside countless souls in their darkest moments, are the light I now seek. My heart is filled with sorrow, yet my soul holds on to hope. I trust in your intercession, for you have never failed those who come to you with a sincere heart and a desperate plea. I trust that in your merciful eyes there is compassion that reaches far beyond the limits of human understanding. St. Anthony, I stand before you today, acknowledging my own limitations and frailties. My strength has been drained by the weight of life's trials, and I no longer have the power to carry the load alone. I have knocked on countless doors, only to have them closed. I have searched for paths, but found none that lead to peace. I have felt the crushing weight of a heart that grows heavier with each passing day, as if a stone were lodged deep within my chest. Yet, despite the deep sorrow that envelops me, I do not come to you with complaints or bitterness. I come to you with a heart full of humility, asking for your divine intervention. I place before you the burdens that I can no longer bear on my own. I place my trust in you, St. Anthony, knowing that you are the Saint of Miracles, the one who has transformed lives in ways that defy all earthly understanding. In this moment, I humbly ask for your powerful intercession. Carry my petition to the throne of God, where nothing is impossible. You, who have known the depths of suffering, who have seen the faces of those who cried out to God in desperation, I beg you to lift my soul from this valley of darkness. I ask you, St. Anthony, to intercede on my behalf, to remove the sickness, the worry, and the torment that bind me. Heal me, body, mind, and spirit. Where illness has taken hold, I ask you to bring healing and restoration. Where fear and anxiety cloud my thoughts, I ask you to fill me with peace and clarity. Where emptiness has crept into my soul, I ask you to restore my spirit with the presence of God, remove every trace of suffering from my being, and replace it with your divine grace, that I may walk in the fullness of health and joy. O St. Anthony, I come before you with faith that you will work in my life as you have done for so many others. I know that countless souls have found comfort, healing, and miracles through your intercession. Now, I ask that I too may witness your miraculous power. Let this prayer be the turning point, the moment when something shifts in the spiritual realm, manifesting in the physical world. I trust that even now, you are working on my behalf. I ask for a miracle, St. Anthony, a miracle that only you, through God's grace, can bring into my life. I wait for it with faith and patience, knowing that miracles unfold in the perfect timing of the Lord. St. Anthony, I also ask that you remove any forces that seek to disrupt my peace or destroy my blessings. There are dark energies and negative forces surrounding me, forces that wish to see me fall, that seek to block my progress and hold me captive in a cycle of despair. But I know, St. Anthony, that no evil can prevail when I have you as my protector, when I have the power of God surrounding me. I ask you now, St. Anthony, to break every chain that holds me down, to destroy every curse, every negative word spoken against me, and every destructive force working against my life. Remove every obstacle in my path and set me free from the powers of darkness that wish to keep me trapped. Wrap me in your holy protection, and let no weapon formed against me prosper. May every enemy be scattered, and may your divine light surround me with an impenetrable shield of safety and strength. I place my trust in you, St. Anthony, knowing that with you, no harm can come near me or my loved ones. There is also, dear Saint, the burden of financial distress that weighs heavily on my heart. The mountains of debt seem insurmountable, and the future looks bleak as opportunities slip through my fingers. I look at my family, and my heart tightens with fear. For I wonder how I will provide for them, how I will meet my responsibilities. But I turn to you, St. Anthony, knowing that you understand the pain of financial struggle, the fear of not having enough to survive. You, who lived a life of simplicity, understand the heart of those who yearn for sustenance, not wealth. You know that my plea is not for riches, but for the dignity of having enough to meet my needs and care for my loved ones. Open the doors, St. Anthony. Bring opportunities where there were none before. Guide me to the right places, the right people, and the right moments. Lead me to the job or business that will provide for me and my family, and grant me the wisdom to manage these blessings wisely. St. Anthony, I ask for the strength to endure, the patience to wait for your intervention, and the courage to continue walking in faith. Even when the road ahead seems uncertain, I place my life, my hopes, and my dreams into your hands, under your protection. I know that nothing is impossible. I trust in you, St. Anthony, and I wait for the miracles that are already on their way, with faith in my heart and hope in my soul. I wait for my miracle. Amen. Beloved St. Anthony of Padua, as I come before you, I open my heart with sincerity and humility, carrying wounds that I can no longer hide. You know, dear Saint, that behind my smile there are pains that only heaven understands. The pain of loneliness, the ache of a love that left me, the longing for affection that never seems to arrive, and the emptiness created by broken bonds. Have you ever felt, dear listener, that even when you are surrounded by many people, your soul still feels alone? That no matter how much you try to fill the void, something remains missing deep inside today? I speak directly to you because I know you understand this pain, and I want you to feel that this prayer touches your own wounded places as well. O St. Anthony, I ask you to look into this emptiness and transform it. Bring into my life people who are true blessings, people who lift me up rather than bring me down, people who speak truth, who live with faith, who give more than they take. Have you ever wondered why some people come into your life only to hurt you or drain your energy today? I ask you, dear Saint, to protect me from such people. Keep away those who deceive, manipulate, or use me. Guard me from false friendships, selfish love, and toxic relationships that steal my peace. Teach me to recognize the people God sends, and to let go of the ones He never intended to stay. If there is a lost love that must be restored, if there is a bond that can be healed, then you, St. Anthony of Padua, known throughout the centuries as the saint who restores what is lost, please intercede for me. Bring back what was broken if it is God's will. Where love has grown cold, warm it again. Where trust has been shattered, rebuild it. Where the heart has been wounded, heal it. Yet if this love is not meant for me, give me the grace to accept it without bitterness. How can we move forward if we keep holding on to what God has already released from our hands? Help me open my heart to the new blessings waiting ahead. At the right moment, dear Saint, present me with the person God has prepared for me, someone who walks with faith, someone whose presence brings peace, someone who knows how to love with patience, kindness, and truth. Let this new love reflect God's own tenderness. Let it be a love that honors heaven, a love that blesses instead of wounds. And as I wait, help me keep my heart clean, my intentions pure, and my spirit hopeful. St. Anthony, powerful intercessor, I confess to you that my heart also carries scars from the past, memories that still hurt, traumas I cannot overcome, grudges that weigh me down like stones. How many times have we tried to forgive and failed? How often do old wounds resurface even when we believe they are healed today? I ask you to help me forgive those who hurt me, even while the pain remains fresh. Teach me the art of forgiveness, because forgiveness is freedom. Help me forgive myself too. Many times, I have carried guilt for mistakes I made, for opportunities lost, for people I hurt without meaning to. But how can my heart heal if I refuse to release my own burdens? Dear Saint, help me see that forgiveness is not a gift to others. It is liberation for my own soul. Let your intercession break the chains of resentment, bitterness, and self-reproach, so I may walk into the future with a lighter heart. Deliver me also, celestial protector, from all addictions that imprison me, whether it is dependence on substances, destructive habits, unhealthy relationships, or obsessive thoughts. I surrender them to you now. Do you ever feel trapped in behaviors you know are harmful but cannot stop today? With humility, I ask you to break every chain that binds me. Give me supernatural willpower, divine determination, and a burning desire for transformation. Let me no longer live as a slave to anything except the love of God. Grant me the experience of true freedom, freedom that comes from within and cannot be taken away by any external circumstance. St Anthony of Padua, beloved saint of impossible miracles, I know I am asking much, but I also know that your intercession has no limits. I place my trust in you because nothing is impossible for God. You who stand so close to the Lord, carry my petitions to Him. How many times do we hide our pain behind forced smiles? How often do we pretend to be strong while silently breaking inside today? I choose to remove the mask. I choose to show my wounded heart, believing that healing begins where honesty starts. As I pray, I already feel something shifting. Do you feel it too? A lightness in your chest, a quiet hope rising inside you. Sometimes the miracle begins not when everything changes around us, but when something changes within us. The simple act of praying, hoping, and believing is already an act of grace. Your presence, St. Anthony, feels so near, like a comforting hand resting on my shoulder, reminding me that I am no longer alone. My heart feels like a deep well filled with murky waters, old pain, buried disappointments, forgotten wounds. But I believe that through your intercession, this well can be cleansed. Let every hidden hurt rise to the surface so it can be healed by God's mercy. How many layers of suffering do we carry without even realizing it today? I offer them all to you. There are moments when I wonder why life seems harder for me than for others. Why do some people walk through life with ease while I struggle through storms? But then, I remember your story, dear saint. You too faced trials. Holiness does not mean a life without suffering. It means faithfulness through suffering. This truth strengthens me and helps me see that my hardships do not mean God has abandoned me. Instead, they are opportunities for my faith to be purified like gold in fire. Teach me patience, St. Anthony. Teach me to trust in God's perfect timing. I know I often want miracles instantly, answers now, blessings immediately, but God works in silence, in hidden ways, in moments we least expect. When answers take long, how do we continue walking in faith? Help me not to give up when heaven seems quiet. Help me remain steadfast, even when everything around me contradicts what I hope for. There is a spiritual battle happening in the unseen realm. Forces that seek to discourage me, to pull me back, to close my doors, but I know that He who is with me is greater than anything that stands against me. Intercede for me, dear Saint. Let your prayer be a sword of light cutting through every work of evil. Let your presence be a shield over my mind, my heart, my family, and my future. Let no weapon formed against me prosper. Bind every spirit of illness, cast out every darkness of sadness, break every chain of poverty, destroy every force that seeks to divide or isolate me. And now, St. Anthony of Padua, I present to you my family. My personal suffering multiplies when I see my loved ones also struggling. You know, dear Saint, that nothing hurts more than watching those we love fall ill, lose direction, sink into despair, or face hardships they do not deserve. Extend your protection over my home and everyone in it. Cover each room with the mantle of your intercession. Let no evil cross our doorway. Let no illness take root. Let no poverty settle. Let no discord grow. Let my home become a sanctuary of peace, where God's presence is felt like a gentle breath. Bring back the children who have wandered far. Bring clarity to those confused. Bring safety to those making dangerous choices. Go to them wherever they are, touch their hearts, whisper to their spirits, protect their steps until they return home safely. Restore broken marriages, rebuild communication, heal old wounds, unite hearts that have grown distant. Let every family be strengthened by the power of God's love. Intercede for the sick in my family, those facing illnesses that medicine cannot cure, those whose bodies are tired, whose minds are weary, whose spirits are crushed. Present their cries before the divine physician. Touch their bodies with heaven's healing. Pour God's restorative power upon every sick cell. And not only physical healing, dear Saint. So many suffer from emotional wounds, depression, panic, anxiety, trauma. Touch these hearts. Bring peace to troubled minds. Restore the joy of living to those who no longer know how to smile. St. Anthony of Padua. I put my trust in you. I place myself under your protection. I wait for a miracle, not because I deserve it, but because God is merciful. And as I wait, I keep faith alive. I keep hope burning. I open my soul to heaven's intervention. With all my heart, I ask you, stay by my side, guide me, intercede for me, and lead me toward the blessings God has prepared. Amen. O glorious St. Anthony, I come before you with a heart that has carried burdens far too heavy for far too long. And even though the road has been filled with obstacles, delays, and disappointments, I still lift my eyes toward heaven because I believe in the mysterious ways grace moves, especially through your intercession. There are situations in my life that seem without solution, paths that appear permanently blocked, and injustices that linger without correction. Yet, something deep within me knows that nothing is truly impossible when your compassionate heart turns toward my pain. Legal problems have dragged on for years, unresolved and unmoving, like walls that refuse to crumble no matter how hard I push. Family conflicts feel endless, repeating the same wounds, the same misunderstandings, the same storms that never seem to calm. There are injustices committed against me that no one seems willing to recognize, much less repair. Papers remain stuck, processes stagnate, permissions get denied, and essential responses never arrive. And still, even in this long night, I choose hope over despair. St. Anthony, I trust that you have the power to intervene in even the most entangled situations. Your intercession carries strength that accelerates what has stalled, unlocks what was blocked, and moves what seemed eternally immovable. So today, I ask you with all the sincerity of my soul, move the pieces on the board of my life. Let the necessary unfold without delay. Open what needs to be opened and close what needs to be closed. Touch the hearts of those who hold influence over my circumstances. Judges, lawyers, doctors, employers, authorities. Inspire them to act with justice, compassion, and fairness. Let them sign what must be signed. Approve what needs approval. Release what has been held back. May everything be resolved swiftly, clearly, and completely, under the grace that flows through your miraculous intercession. Many call you the saint who finds lost things. But today, I ask for something far more precious than any lost object. Help me find the peace I misplaced somewhere along the journey, the joy that hardship dimmed, the confidence in the future that suffering quietly stole from me. Help me recover my faith, not the fragile faith that trembles at the first sign of trouble, but a steady, radiant faith that stands firm even when the winds are violent. Restore to me the freedom to dream again, to hope again, to believe again. There are moments, St. Anthony, when I feel completely lost, wandering without direction, unable to understand my purpose on this earth. Illuminate the path I should walk. Reveal God's plans for my life. Help me discover my gifts, embrace my calling, and bring forth the talents God placed in me so that none of them remain buried beneath fear or uncertainty. Strengthen my faith, especially on the days when doubt whispers more loudly than truth. There are days when belief flows easily, when victory seems near, when blessings feel close enough to touch. But there are also days when fear paralyzes, discouragement weighs heavy, and disbelief tries to convince me that my miracle will never come. In those fragile moments, hold my hand, St. Anthony. Do not let me fall. Remind me of every deliverance God has already given me, every door that opened unexpectedly, every solution that arrived when I least expected it. Bring to my memory the moments when God proved He was listening, guiding, and protecting me. If God has carried me this far, He will not abandon me now. He who began a good work in me will bring it to completion. Teach me to praise God even in the midst of pain. Show me how to worship when the storm is still raging, how to remain faithful when answers are delayed, how to keep my heart lifted even when my eyes are filled with tears. May my life become a testimony of God's strength, not mine, His justice, not mine, His power sustaining me through every weakness. Let others look at me and see the light of divine grace working from the inside out. Make me a living letter, written by God Himself, proclaiming His wonders through every chapter of my life.